Now, listen, you guys, it seems like Fraudulent Nation is yet again being involved in yet another lawsuit. And this time it involves none other than Leslie, okay, Lil Uzi, as well as Jetavia. And we're also going to be talking about JT deactivating and Advo BBL coming through, throwing some shade towards JT's way because of, these allegations. We're also going to be discussing about, Megan Thee Stallion's man. Allegedly, he might be treaded, and people are blaming Megan for that. Doja Cat is out there clowning the Grammys, and Rosernburg is out there trying to say that, well, hip-hop is still alive because of, the nominations by the Grammy board. Now, these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the Tea Plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great. You guys are doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let's start with this entire Fraudulent Nation situation. Now, there is a lawsuit that has been brought forward by Lil Uzi's assistant, and she's accusing Lil Uzi of doing a couple of things that personally, am I surprised? Absolutely not. Does this sound familiar? Yes, unfortunately, it is just another day, just another Roc Nation lawsuit. At this point, I'm just wondering how they treat their employees over there, because this is very much giving, the same similar type of allegations that were in the Bongo 2 case with their assistant. This is exactly what this is giving. So this is what's being reported. Lil Uzi Vert and Roc Nation have been sued over alleged workplace misconduct and labor violations. A former personal assistant filed the lawsuit in California Superior Court, claiming persistent harassment through text messages and verbal comments, being forced to remain available 24/7 while traveling across the US, Europe, Asia, and Australia, and working 12 to 39-hour shifts without overtime pay. And the lawsuit also alleges failure to reimburse business expenses, substance-fueled retaliation, and a hostile work environment that ultimately led to her resignation. Okay, so these are the allegations that are in the lawsuit. Why is it giving Bongo 2 and their assistant again? This is exactly the vibe that I'm getting. Now, at this point, I'm just thinking, Roc Nation, to me, it's beginning to sound like, they allow you to get away with anything, in my own opinion, because how can this continue happening over and over again? It's the same script over and over again. And you know what, even after seeing this, of course, the GP, I'm talking about the bots on Twitter, obviously, they're going to act like, oh my God, we don't know it. They're for the people. You're going to hear Charlamagne coming on the Breakfast Club talking about how that company is for the people and how Brother Billionaire is for the people. It's ridiculous at this point, okay? People that are actually disgusting, vile, and mean are never held accountable. But that being said, I don't see Roc Nation, not separating themselves from this lawsuit, okay? Because I do remember with the Bongo 2 thing, they were trying to separate themselves from that situation as well. So now I do believe that Lil Uzi and Roc Nation, they will probably say that we've got nothing to do with that. And if it's true that behind the scenes Uzi is trying to cut ties with them, then this might be the perfect opportunity for a smear campaign on him. Like, knowing how dirty, some people play, I wouldn't be surprised if, there's somebody else behind the scenes that's telling the assistant that, well, listen, we understand back then we said you shouldn't go forward with pressing charges and stuff like that, but this is the right moment for you to go and press charges. And meanwhile, if you do mention us, we're going to separate ourselves from this and say that we had nothing to do with this. And so, go for it. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out like this, because remember what Advo BBL was saying when she was going back and forth with JT, talking about, oh, your man said this about Roc Nation, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, you're having an issue with JT. Where is Lil Uzi getting in? Because remember, she is the first one who brought men in this entire situation. First, she was coming for Lil Uzi, and then later, she was out there now saying that, well, Lil Uzi said some stuff that she knows about Fraudulent Nation. To me, it feels like behind the scenes, there have been some conversations about Lil Uzi and Roc Nation not being cool. Hence, Advo BBL had the guts to be out there talking ish about Lil Uzi, because on a normal day, she wouldn't have the boldness to go against boldly somebody who's tied to Roc Nation like that, unless she knew all along that something is brewing behind the scenes between Uzi and, of course, his record label. Now, that being said, one person who had something to say about this is none other than Advo BBL. I promise you, Advo BBL is the type of person that she likes it when she's doing it to other people, but as soon as people return the same energy to her, you will see her crashing out, okay? Because it wouldn't have hurt for her to see this as a celebrity and just, let it play out the way that it is. But of course, like the dummy person that she is, she decided to insert herself, and she thinks everything is about her. Everything is, God is favoring her despite her clearly being wicked. But then again, she said that she was talking about Orishas and stuff like that. So now at this point, I don't even know if when she says God, she's referring to the Christian God or if she has her own God. But anyway, this is what she said. She said, "Don't play about me ever. Late but always on time." Okay, so people were out there saying that, well, the timing of this is very much giving. She is talking about the Lil Uzi situation and Jetavia. And I promise you, with her divorce proceedings and everything, if someone were to do so much as to comment about her BS with Offset, especially one of the female rappers, we wouldn't hear the end of it. She would go on Twitter Spaces crashing out. But here she is inserting herself in this entire situation. She thinks that this Roc Nation and Lil Uzi situation is about her for some reason, okay? And if indeed she's paying money to these Orishas and stuff, unfortunately, I hope that they are not using her delusion to get some money out of her, because to look at this lawsuit and think it's centered around her is insane to me, in my own opinion. So if this is how things are working, does it mean that her getting a divorce from Offset and Offset demanding half allegedly from her, is that also what she gets for playing with JT? Not once did I see Jetavia coming online talking about, well, because your husband is doing this and this to you, this is about me, don't play about me. And even Nicki Minaj, okay, the sworn enemy that she has, when it comes to her issues with her husband, Nicki never used that against her. It's her delusional, evil mind that just immediately something bad happens around somebody that she doesn't like. She thinks it's being done as God's punishment for those people for going against her and stuff like that. And I'm like, do you even look to yourself and how you conduct yourself? You think God is literally coming off his seat, his throne from heaven, to look at you and say that, oh my God, this evil, wicked witch from the pole now got into a back and forth with Jetavia. So now it's time for me to make this person. So, like, seriously. But anyway, that being said, some of you were like asking, why do you guys think that she was talking about Jetavia? Because the lawsuit has got absolutely nothing to do with JT. Now, actually, it does have something to do with JT. So now, this is what the lawsuit reads. It says, in December of 2023, defendant Wood's girlfriend Jetavia Johnson fired her assistant and obtained permission from him to use plaintiff John Doe as her assistant. During the remainder of the month, plaintiff Doe worked for both defendant Woods and Miss Johnson. Plaintiff Doe was never compensated for her additional responsibilities as Miss Johnson's assistant. So, yeah, basically they are saying that JT was also using the same assistant. However, they did not agree to compensate her and they didn't give her compensation. Now, knowing how Jetavia can be like, I wouldn't be surprised if there are text messages of her cussing out the assistant, which in my own opinion wouldn't make a good look it's not a good impression for her, especially when it comes to the courts and stuff like that. But anyway, that being said, Jetavia went ahead and deactivated her account on Twitter, I mean X. And so let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this entire situation with Lil Uzi getting sued, Roc Nation, and where do you think that Advo BBL is finding the basketballs to be rubbing it in like this? Unless, of course, like I said, she knew that Uzi and Roc Nation no longer see eye to eye, and she has first-hand information to say that, well, Roc Nation is not going to be backing Lil Uzi in a lawsuit like this. But anyway, that being said, also, I didn't see this energy when Bongo 2 was going through it with her own assistant. So where is Advo BBL getting the audacity to laugh about this case if it's about Roc Nation? Because they are all scared of Roc Nation. Like, let's look at it objectively. Do you think that she would just have the basketballs to make fun of a Roc Nation lawsuit? Absolutely not. So let's see how all of this is going to play out. I wouldn't be personally surprised if by the end of today we see a statement from Roc Nation distancing themselves from this entire thing and leaving Leslie out to dry, hanging out to dry, because allegedly he's been displeased by Fraudulent Nation, and this might be a way of being taught a lesson. And this is why I find an issue with situations where, as long as you're cool with a certain company or certain people, you are never held accountable for anything. They will bend over backwards to try and protect your reputation, even discouraging people to sue you and stuff like that. But as soon as you fall out with them, they will make it seem like they are all for, fairness. The public will start to say, well, this person has to be held accountable. But as long as you're cool with those people, you're not held accountable. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about Megan Thee Stallion's boyfriend, Klay Thompson. Allegedly, they are considering trading him. And, people are out there saying that, well, this is bad karma for being with Megan. Oh, my God, it's his fault for being. Megan brings something nice. Very soon he's going to be looking depressed. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. Like, listen, I also don't like Bongo 2 and the lies, but to say that this man playing like this is her fault, I don't know, you guys. I just feel like that's a little bit too far-fetched. I've never heard him to be a star. So, I mean, he gets money. He's a trade. But anyway, let me know what you think about, this. Do you think that it is karma for being with Bongo 2? Do you think that she brings nothing but bad energy? Or like me, do you think that, well, people are a little bit reaching with this? Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about the Grammys, okay? Now, you guys know that Doja Cat didn't get any nomination. This is what she had to say on Twitter. And when it comes to Doja Cat, too, I don't know if I should take her seriously. I don't know when she's serious or when she is trolling, okay? Because she took to her Twitter and she said, I want Grammy. And I don't know if this was, to me, it's giving very much trolling. One thing about Doja Cat is she will troll the behind out of people. So let me know in the comment section, do you think that Doja deserved to get a nomination? I mean, they're saying that the timelines of her dropping, she does not qualify to be nominated because of the timing. Do you think that had it not been of the timing, she would have been nominated? Personally, I don't think so. Because I do feel like at this point, the Grammys are just literally like social awards. They are not talent based. It's about who you know and stuff like that, because some of the songs that were nominated, it doesn't even make any sense. But anyway, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, still talking about the scammers. It seems like one person who's still excited about the scammers is none other than Peter Rosernburg. Okay, Rosernburg is a loser that we all know, but I don't know what he thought this meant. This is what he said. He said, "I thought you were saying hip hop was dead. #Grammys." And I'm just looking at him like, sir, Grammys don't mean a thing. Okay. Grammys do not mean a single thing. It doesn't mean that the genre is still thriving. It doesn't mean anything like that. So for him to come and use Grammys as a standard or a metric to measure how far the genre is still going is something that I just cannot comprehend. And the people were chewing him up in the comment section. People were eating him up. People were like, listen, we've known that you are daft, but we didn't know that you're this daft. Like, we're supposed to be appeased by that award that is gotten based off who you know. You think that defines whether a genre is still relevant or not. And unfortunately, it's not just, these people in his comment section that have the same sentiments. A lot of people have started to give up on the genre. And personally also, I mean, once Nicki Minaj releases the album, I don't think that I'm going to be in these streets anymore, because it's just less interesting now. There's nothing objective, there's nothing poetic, there's nothing lyrical. It's just drama, gimmicks, and who do you know. And I personally feel like it's the heavy industry politics that has single-handedly annihilated the genre as a whole.
Of this, because it's some people that guys flourish with. It's some guys that they get this girl in their life and their career just take off. It doesn't matter if it's music. Like, I think about a young lady I was with when I was writing all those smash hits. That was two girls that made all those records. And then I got with another girl and I couldn't get the same storyline. And the same thing is true with some of these ball players. You see them balling out, they go with this other girl, and it's like all downhill. I can name probably like 8 basketball players. You'll be like, word, word, word. Like, and then you get with some girls and you just be winning. I think this is some truth to that.
Well, see, this is the problem as well, right? And I think Mace is correct, 100% correct. But let's flip the other side of the coin. You got a girl that you with and you're winning, not just winning, you're flourishing, you're one of the best players in
Yeah.
the world, everything, you know, fucking win championships, medals, all type of shit. And then she wants to go on podcasts and talk about she's not happy with her role in life. Talking about nigga, now
No comment.
he's winning too much. I'm tired of the gold
Yeah.
medals. I'm tired of league MVPs. I'm tired of the finals championships coming to my house. I'm tired of hearing about he the best shooter in the world. Do you keep her around? Because you be like, long as this bitch around, pardon me, I won't call nobody wife a bitch, pardon that. As long as this female around, I'm winning. Maybe when I retire, I'll get rid of her. But right now, she's helping me win. When is it all gonna match up? When is everything gonna when is it gonna match up?
Yeah, that's a good one right there, Cam. But
Yeah.
this goes
But,
back to what I said earlier. Sometimes you don't get everything.
sometimes you do. You know who I'm gonna give a shout out to? I'm gonna give the shot, and it ain't for everybody. It's a 1%. Mason's right. A lot of times you don't, but the 1%. The big shout out I want to give the biggest shout out to, and it's not talked about this enough.
LeBron,
Savannah James. James,
yes,
word up. She gets the biggest credit out of anybody that I've known over the course of time. You've been with this man from the jump. You don't hear no nonsense about her. Not
yeah,
only that, we sat there and watched them become kids, turn into parents, and watch their kids become great. I want to give a big shout out to that. Don't want to be too seen too much, not too much
yeah,
talking. When she is seen, is very classy. Savannah James needs to get more flowers than she probably already is getting. But at the end of the day, you got these people who bringing people career down. Then you got these
yeah,
girls who not happy with a nigga who career is in the sky. When is it all gonna be pieced together?
yeah. And you're right. Shout out to Savannah James, because even when there was turbulent times, like we were saying things, we had to address certain things about Bronny. I saw her in a hotel diner where they had the food at, and I know she saw me. I could feel her looking at me. And everybody was like, "Yo, man, there goes Savannah James," and I was trying to act like I was tying my strings.
Ocho.
Okay, so just a quick update. This came when I was actually done editing the video, but it is now being reported that the case that we were talking about, the Lil Uzi and Roc Nation case, has actually been dropped. Allegedly, it was dropped a week ago. So I do not know why that came out in the articles, because you do know that one thing about the media platforms, these things just do not come from nowhere. Okay, a lot of these things are strategized steps to get to somewhere. So I have no idea why all of a sudden this came into the news, and now it's actually coming out that in fact that lawsuit was dropped. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what do you think is going on? And I do wonder where now Advo BBL is, given that she had already tried to sub Jetavia as well as Lil Uzi. Until my next one, see you.